And hi, favored ones. Welcome to Soul Talk. So this is our season 3, year 2. Year 2. And our first guest is Eli Abela. She is a biohacking pioneer here in the Philippines. And she's the first one who opened a Biohacking Recovery Center, Unlimited, yung name, Unlimited in Pioneer. She's also a vitality and anti-aging expert, a certified sleep teacher. She believes in the efficacy of energy psychology in terms of bringing resolution to personal issues. That's why I really relate to her. And she really believes in the power of the human potential. Let's all welcome Ellie to Soul Talk.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much, and hello everybody. Nice to be here to be sharing thoughts with Michelle.
Yes, actually, I met Ellie, kailan ba? Parang it was during the pandemic eh. It was
Yes.
through Coach Mel. Coach Mel is a branding coach. And I met Ellie Mel. Tapos yun, we really kind of jive together. She's she's
Yes.
energy healing, anything that's holistic, looking into alternative medicine. There's really a lot of that, I personally could learn from Ellie. So since I am going through, we all know naman, diba? You all know that Soul Talk is really a personal journey, and I also learn from the guests. And this time, I'm going through this process of transformation. So the theme for August is about transformation. And sino pa ba ang kakausapin ko kundi ang biohacker ng Philippines, di ba? Kamusta
Good
ka
to
na
be
ba?
here.
Oo, kamusta ka na? What keeps you busy right now? We're 1 year into the pandemic, and I know that ang dami mo rin talagang ginagawa. Pero where are you pouring your energy at right now? During the past year, kasi kahit naman during lockdown, you were also very active.
Yes, yes.
Ang daming ginagawa, and you were seeing a lot of clients. The center remained open, diba?
Yes. Oo. Yeah, so actually I learned a lot of new things. So the lockdown, everything that's disastrous actually has a silver lining, and COVID had won, and that gave us the time, to reflect and see what else can I add to my skills. Can I offer more? Can I learn more so that I can be of better service to others? And so I learned maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 more certification courses in the last year. And then I know you were one of my guinea pigs for one of the things that I learned, which is to use tuning forks to recognize dissonances in one's bioenergetic field, and then to use sound also to bring some release and remove stuckness. So all of that. And then last year I also worked on, and this is such a gift because I'm one of those people. I'm not a seasoned entrepreneur. I really was allergic to business my whole life. I was always an employee because I didn't want to craft my own empire, or I just didn't have that thing, that wherewithal for it. But I had this huge calling to put up a center in the Philippines na biohacking. So that's what I did. Okay, I'll just build it. And then I had no business plan. So I opened without anything. It was pure calling. I just followed my nose, followed everything that my intuition, my higher selves told me. Just do it. Okay, I'll do it. So I did it. I opened. Of course, no customers came because how am I gonna market this biohacking thing? Diba?
Ayan, nawala na ulit.
So last year,
Okay. So you were saying that
ayan.
parang you opened the center
Yes.
last year yon, di ba? Even if you were not, you don't have the background in business and all that, you were just following your
Yes.
intuition. And then nung
Yes.
nag-open, walang clients kasi hindi ma-market during the
Yes.
pandemic.
Yeah, so one of the gifts of lockdown was, okay, so wala naman palang pupunta sa center dahil may lockdown. Okay, So why don't I work on my branding, which I should have done before even building this place, right? I didn't do that. So last year was when I worked on my branding. So I hired Coach Mel, who's a branding
Yes.
specialist,
Uh-uh.
and she trained me to become a brand of my own, and also to to try to be an influencer as well, what I need to do and be, and how I need to write my stories. And then I also worked on the branding of Unlimited to bring out awareness. So I came out with marketing campaigns and all of these commercials I shot while I was here, while there was nobody here, and then on the side I would see clients, of course. So it was a gift na rin, kasi if I were full force, siguro I wouldn't be what I am today, what I know today. I wouldn't be able to learn.
So yun yung transformation na nangyari last
Yeah.
year.
Yes.
And it's still continuous. Pero yun talaga yung sure. Pero
Yes.
you're a lifelong learner.
Yes.
As in, you really study a lot, and I could, if you see her profile, what she has achieved, what she has studied, the list is so long. As in, talagang marami talaga. And right now, even during the pandemic last year, you added 3 more certifications. That's amazing. While learning how to brand your business, and not just your business but also you yourself, kasi ikaw mismo yung brand mo eh, 'di ba?
Yes. Oo.
Mm. Paano ba yung process? Was it difficult for you, or were you in the flow? Ano yung
Yeah.
how was it?
Yeah, it was really difficult, but nothing ever worthwhile is easy, right? It has to be difficult, and it's kind of like digging in, and finding out who you really are. And of course, you have to battle a lot of instances where the imposter syndrome comes creeping in and saying, "Ako ba talaga to? Deserve ko ba talaga ito? Okay, I know all these things, but am I really that good?" That kind of creeps in, and you have to fight that every single minute it comes in, because you really are doing this for a cause. You're doing it not for yourself, but really not really leaving a legacy, but you want to pass on wisdom to the next generations, and it's ultimately it's really to build a better world. Diba? To have a better world, to have better human beings is pretty much what it is. So yeah, laban lang, right? Laban lang. In spite of everything that is happening right now, we have another lockdown coming. Laban lang. Okay lang. Sige. And so this is when everything you learn kicks in. Like all the books that you read on Stoicism, all the values that Marcus Aurelius and Seneca and Epictetus, all of them are saying, because they had really big challenges. There was world wars, there was conquering of countries and whatever. So tayo, we're just conquering ourselves. We're trying to figure
I love that.
who we really are, right? We're also conquering our demons, and all those things that creep up, that the self-doubt that kind of leaves us our ankles shackled, and prevents us from flying, spreading our wings. So those are the ones that we know. So it kicks in. So heart math, everything that I know about self-regulation, and then the importance of still being able to keep your immunity strong. So you do the same basic things: go out in the sun, you sleep well, you get a cold shower, eat well. You have to remember those things. That's it. And I'm not saying that I've conquered them all. I have even bigger hurdles right now compared to last year. But the same basic lessons apply. Just be grounded. Eye on the prize. Eye on the prize. On the goal. How you get there, you will get there. And you can never work alone. Never. It takes a village all the time. So you find your tribe. That's always important. Yeah.
That's true. You mentioned na the lessons are still there. Parang even if you have overcome, a lot of things, but it's continuous. Ano ba yung mga lessons na yun na perennial talaga, na minsan on a daily basis kailangan mo harapin?
Oo. Every single day, I would always think, unlimited, what I worked so hard to put up I opened it and I closed, and I spent millions on this place, with the hope that I could change the paradigm, the way people see health, and the way the healthcare system is, because it's really not healthcare; it's more of sick care. So that was my hope. So every day I'm always faced with that fear. Now, I might lose this, but always the lesson I was telling you was, if I lose this place, I still have my soul. I just have to find a different way to contain it, a different way. And perhaps, sometimes the curveballs is the curve you need, is the direction you need. The straight ball is not always the one that hits a home run. It could be that very curveball that you need. So, you could be redirected elsewhere. Life is never linear. Life doesn't have to make sense all the time, but always trust that you will be led to where you're supposed to. So yeah, it's always that fear. There are days where I can't sleep, or I'll wake up with fear, because what's going to happen to my business? What's going to happen to my life's work? Always that. Yeah. But then I'm always grounded in this saying that my higher selves told me through an ayahuasca ceremony, and always brings me down to center, not bring me down, but it grounds me, is when love is your currency, everything falls into place. That is just the bottom line of it. Yeah.
I agree with that. And it's parang ang ganda ng pagkasabi mo na there's that fear na pwedeng mawala yung place, and you have invested so much
Yes.
in this place. It's not just financial investment, it's also the emotional investment.
Yes.
Nandyan. And for you to say na kung mawala ito, it's sige, there will be another platform for me to be of service, to bring whatever it is that you have
Yes.
and share it to others. That's really beautiful, and
Yeah.
it's something that I admire. Parang
Thank you.
kulang na lang sabihin mo, okay, let's practice non-attachment.
Yes. And that is exactly it. When you reach the place of peace and non-attachment, that is when the gifts come. That is when it comes. When you're no longer attached, dun siya pumapasok. So in a way, you're kind of getting in your own way when you become attached to something. But it could be that very sentiment of being not attached to something that you built, an institution that you put your whole heart, body, mind, and soul to. Once you have that feeling of non-attachment, that's when the place will thrive. That's when the people will start to come in, because you got out of your way, your own way. And that's important, I think, for everybody, is that you might be in your own way. So you have to get out of your way. That type of thing. So it's interesting. It's a little bit hard to know. It's a little bit nebulous. It's a little bit hard. It sounds so simplistic, but it is so profound. And these are the teachings in Buddhism, Zen Buddhism. It's non-attachment. It's they call it nirvana, but yeah, I see it in a very practical sense. I see it.
Yes. Kasi with Ellie naman, she has always been very spiritual, and yet very grounded.
Yeah.
Yun yung gusto kong kind of spiritual. Parang yes, there's that belief in the higher faculties, that strong faith, but at the end of the day, it's still grounded, because we're here on Earth, we're living this life, and there must be some meaning and purpose, diba, for us to be here. And just now you have shared your the main lesson in your life, yung parang alam mo yun, inaayos with all the healing modalities that we know, but it parang same with me, it still comes into our lives. So it's just a continuous healing talaga. It's a process. Pero we have faith. We have faith that things will be really well.
Yes. And kasi if this is our work, diba? But the work that matters is your inner work. That's what matters. So you can do your work for money, But the work that matters is the work within yourself. Really.
Oo. And you also mentioned about the silver lining in
Yes.
any situation. If we're
Mhm.
not happy with whatever is happening, actually we're using it as an opportunity to get to know ourselves better and
Yes.
improve or to grow in a larger scale. So, tama yung sinabi mo. Naniniwala
Oo.
rin ako doon.
Oo.
Kaya,
Kasi parang you have to activate your superpowers kasi parang feeling mo, ano lang magagawa ko? Wala na parang rock bottom na. So you have to reach within and really say, you have to be gritty and, see, ano ba yung kakayanin ko? Ano ba yung superpowers ko? Pwede ko bang i-activate? Kasi doon lang talaga siya lumalabas. That's why you see some people na pag nag-rock bottom, doon lang talaga. Di ba like Tony Robbins, he was poor, he was destitute, and then he found something, and now he has his own airplane fleet or whatever,
oo,
things like
saka
that.
ang daming
Diba?
businesses din all
Ang
over.
dami niyang business. He found the gift of his voice. He found the gift of communication, and then he helped others with that. And then, yeah. Also, J.K. Rowling, her story. I mean, there are many times kasi that I would feel like a failure. Like, what did I do? Why did I invest in this? Why did I open up this place? Didn't I have any business sense or whatever? But the calling was so great there. I could not ignore the calling. I just had to do it. Okay. And then nangyari ito. And there were times when I'm really so low, I would listen to J.K. Rowling's story, her telling the story that she was depressed, she had a divorce, just suffered a divorce. She had a 1-year-old baby she was nursing. She was super poor, living off I don't know what, and writing the stories. And then she had, I don't know, 49 rejections, I think, before she got the one publisher, and then that was it now. But it took her years. So I'm like, okay, it's good to be a failure, right?
Kaya ako nag-iintindihan ko kasi I'm also going through something, and being a healer and being a counselor,
Yes.
hindi naman tayo nakakatakas from those lessons, from
Yes.
those issues. And same as you, my intuition, my guidance was also so strong. Hindi, ito yung tamang path. Ito yung tamang path. But then, there's the imposter syndrome, di ba? But then,
Correct.
alam ko kasi ito eh, pero bakit ganito yung nafe-feel ko ngayon?
Oo, lahat tayo may ganyan.
We all
And
go through this. Oo.
And I think the imposter syndrome is also just for you to challenge your belief about yourself and to really remind yourself that you have to work through this, and kailangan panindigan mo kung ano yung, pinag-aralan mo to eh. Tapos ito yung gusto mong gawin, calling ito eh. So, panindigan mo, di ba? It kind of reinforces that belief that, yes, this is you. This is rightly you.
Pero I know you're still going through all these, di ba? Kasi continuous pa rin naman yung pandemic. Nandiyan pa rin. Hindi naman siya nawawala.
Yes.
And you're also advocating yung talagang natural human potential hacking. And iba ang mentality dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya nga parang sabi ko, Ellie really has a big role to play here in the Philippines in terms of changing the mindset, even the culture, yung perception ng mga tao on what health is about. So you really have such a big role to play. What makes all the challenges worth it? I'm sure meron kang nakukuha kahit papaano yung talagang ang sarap ng satisfaction and fulfillment. What makes everything worth it?
This is a quote in one of my favorite movies, Lucy. Scarlett Johansson, diba? She supposedly activated all of her DNA, her whole brain she activated.
I
so
love
it's a
that.
really,
Yung percentage ng brain capacity niya hanggang sa nag-disintegrate na lang siya.
Yes, exactly. And then she asked Morgan Freeman, what should I do with all this knowledge? And then Morgan Freeman said that there's nothing more noble than there's the one sole purpose for existence, and that is to pass on what you know. pass on your knowledge. And so that is what I want. I'm getting goosebumps actually. Parang my higher selves are telling me that's what I need to do in this lifetime, is to be a teacher and to pass on knowledge. That's it. That's it. That's pretty much just everything that I know now or learned is to pass it on, because that will be passed on and on and on. Yeah, that's pretty much what keeps me going.
Oo.
Yeah.
And you have mga students ka na, di ba? You've offered several workshops na. Could you talk
Oo.
more about that?
Yes, the latest one is about sleep. So people are not harnessing the superpower of sleep, which Mother Nature refused to take away. You and millions of people, God, I would even say billions of people are not sleeping. You know, and you talk and you think about Alzheimer's and cancer, autoimmune, depression. These are symptoms of lack of sleep. If these people slept, they would not be that sick. They would not be, yeah. So I teach people how to sleep. So I teach people how to harness the body's ability to self-regulate, to sleep. So yung mga kalaban kasi ng sleep is anxiety. Ayan, di ba? Fear. What's this lockdown gonna do to me? Am I gonna get COVID? Wala na akong pera, ganyan. Anxiety, fear. There's childhood trauma as well, and there's stress triggers, worry. All of these things are the antithesis of sleep. So when you know how to regulate that thinking, your body will fall asleep naturally, because the darkness makes it sleep, the cold makes it sleep, makes it go into slumber. Yeah. Regulation. Wait, you're muted.
Ay, sorry. Nawala yung sound mo towards the end. So, pero ang sinabi mo, the darkness makes you sleep, the cold
Yes.
makes you sleep. This is,
Yes.
I read about this. This is, sleep hygiene. Yun ba yung term na?
Yes,
Oo.
that is it. Yes. Sleep hygiene, yeah.
Oo.
So you also have to hack light, because light and the eyes and sleep, they cannot be separated. They are exactly what determines our circadian rhythm, the wake up moments and then the sleeping time. The eyes and sleep needs to be hacked. So, and dami yan. Sleep hygiene, it's so easy. That's the darling topic of biohackers. We love to biohack sleep. Kasi yun yung superpower natin eh. That's where we are reborn, a new person every single day. Talaga. So people need to harness it. It's free. It's free of charge.
Oo,
Diba?
tama.
Oo.
Actually, ang saklap nga kung magigising kang pagod.
Oo, yeah.
That's so sad.
Oo.
Pero a lot of people really experience that, ha?
Yes, a lot. I mean, you'll be surprised. Talagang more often than not. And people who think na, if you're 20s or 30s, you have a lot of give. Diba? You're okay. Diba? Maybe when we were younger, we were partying. We were not, we would sleep late.
Napipil ko na yung age ko.
Oo. Kasi we had naman more hormones to make us more resilient that time. But now, when we're a little bit older, medyo bumababa na yan. Yung supply na yan. So we really have to harness what we have, everything we have. And that is sleep early at the right time. Wake up at the right time as well. So basically, it's really if you go through our evolutionary cycle, it is to sleep when the light is thickest, yung darkest, which is like 9 or 10, and then to wake up with first light, which is mga 5:36. Ganyan. That's the healthy rhythm.
Parang napagala na lang. Yeah. Actually, by 9 or 10, nagsisignal na ang mind ko na dapat akong matulog. Pero parang hindi, kailangan ko pa, may gagawin pa ako. Wait lang.
Yeah, oo. Parang kasi daming work eh. Yeah.
Oo. Pero kasi what I'm also learning for the past few weeks actually, it's more of really mental discipline.
Yes.
The story that we tell ourselves that kailangan pa mag-work ka ng ganitong oras, parang ngayon, parang I'm realizing na, teka nga, bakit ito yung pattern of narrative ko sa sarili ko? This is me justifying
Yes.
sleeping late na kailangan ko magtrabaho. Bakit hindi ako magtrabaho na mas maaga? Diba? It's all about mental discipline. Ano ba yung mga ginawa ko sa umaga? Was it really, really, very efficient in terms of managing my time, my energy? Kaya parang, this week rin, a lot of change in routine. Parang, okay, hindi ako pwede maglinis sa umaga. Kailangan work agad.
Yes.
Ang work ko is study so I need to study in the morning.
Oh.
All physical work has to the afternoon. Kailan yung medyo down yung katawan para mas sig. So sabi ko, okay, I'm learning a lot about my body as well during this time.
Yes.
And I realized that I've been abusing my body so much.
Yeah.
So, tama ka, when we're older, that's when we get to feel all the symptoms. Kasi when we're young, we're really, our immune system is so strong.
Super,
diba?
yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're older, and it's there for a reason, I always tell people this, that when we're older, it's not aging. It's appropriate timeline for us. Because when we reach 45, 46, we usually hit perimenopause. And it's there for a reason. It's because we're done with our role of taking care of other human beings. We're done being mother and wife. And now it's time for us to let go of our extra hormones, because now it's time for them to take care of us. Because by the time we're 45, our kids are supposed to be a little bit older. So now it's their time to support us. At the same time, we siguro became, we got our periods mga 12, 11. Right? So before that age, our subconscious, our souls knew exactly why we came on to the earth, why we incarnated. And it was set aside because it's time for you to be a mom soon. So, okay, have your first crush and then, get a boyfriend and then do this and then get married. Ganyan. Now that the hormones for motherhood are done, it's time for you to pick up where you left off at 11 years old, where your soul knew exactly what you wanted. So women, usually at middle age, even men, middle age, you see them leaving corporate to open up a yoga studio, diba? Or to become a breathwork teacher, meditation teacher, because that's the real incarnation purpose, diba? So the hormones that go down is there for a reason. Evolutionarily, there is no mistake in the human body or life or evolution. It's there for a real reason, and now it's time for you to focus your energy on yourself now, not others. So it's time for you to find your purpose and your path. That's why it hits us in middle age. It really does. There's a reason for that. They call it a crisis. It's actually a gift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yun pala yun, yung reason.
Yes.
Parang sabi ko, teka lang, wala pa nga akong anak. Tapos nandito na ako sa, hinaharap ko na yung life's work, the purpose, di ba? Teka, wala pa ako sa mother. Pero ang motherhood ko naman kasi is mga alaga ko. Like,
animals.
the pets, of course, my
plants,
yung plants, and then students, yung mga mentees, mga, parang like, oh my gosh. So yes, on hindsight, we've gone through mothering or motherhood. Care of what. So tama naman, the shift right now is really slow down ka muna, focus on yourself.
Yes. Otherwise, kung saan ka mapupunta, because I have all this energy. Oh my gosh, I'm going to do this and this and that and that.
So that's why the transformation is so huge during midlife.
Yes, that's the reason. You're back on your path. It's time for you to reopen it.
Galing, right? God, the way
sobra.
the life is designed.
Sobra. There's no mistake whatsoever. Wala.
Thank you for sharing that. So, even the pandemic has a design as well. There's something to this that we're not seeing.
Thank you so much for saying that, because I think I was called to open this center right here because of the pandemic. So you're seeing me right now negative figures, whatever, walang tao dito, ganyan. It's part of the plan. It's part of the plan. Because if I waited until after the pandemic or during COVID, I would never be able to open this up. Or I would never be able to go to the US for 5 years back and forth to study everything I know. Walang chance kasi sorry, I'm not gonna get bakuna and and it's required for travel, diba? So wala na. I'm not gonna travel anymore. So kaya pala, parang they rushed me. Parang just do it. Just travel back and forth, study this, put this up, that's it. And then COVID happened. In hindsight talaga, it's good timing. Perfect timing siya. Galing na eh. You just have to trust the process. That's all. Trust your soul. Yeah.
Yes. I know that the vaccine is a very hot topic right now. Parang, parang for me, just, respect the personal choice of the people.
Yes.
Yun na lang. There's no coercion. Let the people make the decision on their own.
Yeah.
Hanggang doon lang. I don't want to put so many emotions into that. Parang, ako I'll respect. I have friends who are vaccinated. I have friends
Same.
who don't like to be vaccinated, and I don't discriminate between the two groups. And even doon sa group ng naka-vaccine and the group doon sa non-vax, they all have different reasons.
Yes.
All have different reasons.
My whole family is vaxxed all the way to the health, the gardeners, and but it's okay. Basta freedom to choose. Ultimately, it's all about freedom. Nobody owns your right to choose. Nobody. No government, no health authority, no one. Period.
Pero kasi it's also aligned to your work, to your belief. And diba nga, parang ano ba ang biohacking? Sige, explain mo na lang yun. Kasi yun yung essence eh, di ba? It's biohacking, your life's work mismo.
Yeah.
So it's aligned to your belief na hindi magpa-vaccinate. Could you share what biohacking is?
Yeah.
Kasi kung ako mag-share, hindi nila magigets yun eh. Kasi I'm not an expert on it. But you're the expert here. Kahit brief lang what biohacking is all about.
Yeah. Okay, so the word came from Dave Asprey. I have to say that because the word hacking is very intimidating to people. But there's a reason for that. He was a computer hacker and he's the father of biohacking. So he said that, when you take over a computer, you hack into it. You find a loophole and then you take over the whole system. It's a small loophole, you enter it. So same thing, he was very sick and then he found out that the body can heal itself millions of ways. So you simply hack into a few of those pathways of healing and the body will get super well. And that's what it is. So it's the belief that the body self-regenerates, self-heals, and self-organizes with the proper tools and the proper knowledge and the proper belief as well. No, that the body actually is not meant to die. We're meant to keep evolving. Diba? But what are we doing is because we keep exposing it to so many insults from the environment, what we eat, that we're not sleeping, the EMF, the glyphosate, the radiation, processed food, whatever, heavy metals. So, syempre, we will die a death of 1,000 cuts. Diba? That's what happens. But if parang ang sakit, right? But if you minimize or eliminate those cuts, you will live for a long time. You're meant to live for a long time. That's the evolutionary process. I mean, we have cells that never die. The stem cells are eternal cells. So so we believe we reinforce that the ability for the body to self-regenerate. And it's something called bioregenesis. Like the liver regenerates itself every 6 weeks, the stomach cells every 2 months. Supposedly the whole body is brand new every 7 years. So it's just the mere fact that when you have a wound after 2 weeks, it's completely healed. Or when you have a cold, or when you have COVID or the flu, you're well after 3 weeks. Of course, you use agents that will boost that that process, use vitamins or the sun or sunlight, which are all biohacking. But the body is the one that heals itself. It's not your vitamins. It's not medicine or medication. That's for sure. It's not the herbs. It's your body. Period. That's what we believe. So anything that's toxic is kryptonite. That means it will go against the body's natural way of healing itself. So if you put anything poisonous or toxic that has adjuvants, that goes against biohacking. So I cannot put those two in the same word when we were talking about holistic healing. Yeah.
Pero ano siya, no? Is it preventive na yung
Yes.
biohacking? Is this
Absolutely.
prevent diseases?
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, it has to be early prevention. It has to be talaga. It's the best cure is prevention, diba? Yeah. So even before the pandemic, biohackers were already very anal about the way they're sleeping and the way and what they're
Very
eating.
very
Very OC. Even before that talaga. So if you go to my center, I have these NASA technology air purifiers. Even before COVID, andun na yon. It was already installed. So when COVID happened, okay, I'm fine. I'm equipped to fight all of that stuff. And then the light that we put in our centers, they're full spectrum lighting, because we always take into consideration what the effects of the environment to the body. And so the water's filtered from fluoride or from whatever we have, chlorine or fluoride. I don't know what the Philippines has, but it has filters. So all of that is already taken into consideration in biohacking, with or without the COVID pandemic.
I am sure a lot of people are hearing this first time. Right now. Kasi it's, hindi siya ganon ka mainstream. But you're here. You're talking about it, and you're the voice.
But I'll shock you for a moment. Have you done fasting, even IF, intermittent fasting?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's biohacking. Have you gone out in the sun to get vitamin D?
Oh, naman.
That's biohacking. Have you done breath work?
Yes.
Oh, that's biohacking as well. So it's really just hacking into a pathway that the body will optimize itself with. Diba? Breath work is good for you, so you do it. Diba? And then IF, it does autophagy, it cleans you out, it balances your hormones. That's biohacking.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's it. And in fact, I love to teach people the free ways to biohack instead of the advanced ways with my machines. But so ultimately, I want every single Pinoy to hack into their body's ability to self-regenerate and take care of themselves. So they don't have to be privy, they don't have to be slaves to a very flawed system.
But this is not just, yung biohacking, hindi lang naman sa physical body, di ba? Even sa mental.
Oh my gosh, my dear. With biohacking, it's the gestalt. It's holistic talaga. There's absolutely no separation between mental, emotional, the etheric, and physical. Zero. They all have to be taken into consideration. Talaga. Yeah.
So, yun talaga yung 360-degree na approach.
You can't annoy like the way the healthcare does it now. A pill for an ill, diba? You name the disease, you blame the disease, some agent that got you sick, and then you tame it with medication. It can't be that simple. You have to check the root cause. You have to see, how are you sleeping? How are you eating? Do you have root canals? Do you have mercury amalgams? What cosmetics are you using? What products are you using? What kind of air are you? You have to do, what are you eating from the supermarket? Are they organic? Mga ganyan. You have to think about that. And then stress, relationships at home. Is it good? At work, is it okay? Are you working too long? Ganyan. You have to look at that because the disease process is all layered. It's diba, stacked one on top of each other, and you really have to get to the bottom of it. You can't just say, take this and you'll be fine. That never works.
Pero do you also do consultations? Like, kunwari, kasi may mga tao talaga who are gravely ill. And
Yes.
pag hindi na talaga kaya ng science or ng medicine, that's the time sometimes they look for other alternatives.
Yes.
And kung ganun ba, do you also accept
Yeah.
consultations? Yung mga,
Absolutely. I have rooms here that are great for cancer patients, and I've had cancer patients, and I have people who come to me are gravely ill, Alzheimer's disease, end stage, autism, depression, fibromyalgia, autoimmune. Somebody came to me with stage 3 breast cancer, used my machines and all. And then of course I'll give lifestyle advice, and I tell them to look for what might have contributed to the pathogenicity of of their condition. So yeah, definitely. But people also who never want to get sick will come here.
oo.
Diba?
So you work closely with doctors then?
No, I don't. I would like to. So this is my dream, is to really change the medical paradigm, not to collapse it, because of course, my gosh, there's a huge place for medicine. Diba? If there's acute or triage or emergency cases, when you break a bone, you don't go to unlimited. You go straight to the ER. Diba? Or if you need transplant, you go to a surgeon. So there is really a huge place for it. Or acute conditions at home, you can't breathe or whatever, go get an asthma spray and use that for now to stabilize, and then counterbalance later. What I want is, I want to be part of the healthcare leg where where we can help patients convalesce, help patients recover, like post surgery or whatever, and then gradually wean them off medication for lifestyle. So ako na yung longevity lifestyle part, letting the body heal itself and then let the cells start to communicate again so that it can self-repair after the surgery, after the injury, whatever. So I want to work with them for sure. In fact, my dream is to have a biohacked hospital na talagang the lighting is good. There's no big Burger King or diba? There's no
Parang
Starbucks.
alam ko yan doon.
Alam mo na
Burger
kung
King.
which hospital. Walang Pizza Hut or Figaro or whatever. It's all this good stuff that will help you heal faster, not get in the way. The lighting in the hospital is heinous. My gosh. You're in the hospital bed, ang daming plugs, ang daming EMF and whatever in the back, and then it's fluorescent. My golly. Fluorescent light causes depression in kids in schools.
Talaga?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm sorry, not just
sobrang gusto ko
depression.
pa naman ng white light, sobra.
Ay, nako. If it's full spectrum, it's good. The grow lights, what they use for grow. Full spectrum. It has to be. Because the sunlight is full spectrum. If you have these lights na, or even through the window, it filters out the UV wavelength. So contrary to what people believe, UV is still needed. You need UV to convert to vitamin D. But you also need full spectrum for the body to receive signals. If it's kulang, that's when disease happens. So that's what I want for the hospitals. Have to consider that the air needs to be good, diba? There needs to be more plants. There needs to be more nature. That is my dream. Right now, it's like a ward or something, diba? White walls.
Yung full spectrum light, that's the light ng parang for indoor plants.
Oo, yeah.
Yun yung
lights.
Ginagamit. Actually, alam mo, hindi ko naisip na pwede siyang for human use. Parang inisip ko pang plants. As in, sobra. Parang sabi, oh my gosh, the ignorance of the mind.
No, it's interesting then. At least now people know, because we also experience photosynthesis. It's not just the plants. We have our own version of photosynthesis as well, because we get a lot of energy from the sun for so many things, not just vitamin D. So many things talaga. So yeah, we are like the plants, and even animals need the sun, diba? So bringing them out also once in a while is good for them. Yeah.
Do you sometimes feel that, when you speak, and then people would have this tendency na ma-shock sa mga sinasabi mo? How do you remain true to yourself? Kasi diba, it takes a lot of self-awareness that
Yeah.
yung talagang conviction na ito ako and I accept who I am. This is my work. So I'm not going to shy from speaking my truth and the things that I know and the things that you know are yun nga, hindi nga siya ganun ka-mainstream. But you still speak your truth. How do you remain so grounded? Or yung parang kilala mo talaga yung sarili mo and stick ka sa sarili mo.
My conviction comes from self-experience, from personal experience actually, because I'm 49, so I'm perimenopausal. I have 3 autoimmune diseases, and I've never seen a doctor.
Nasa itsura mo, 3 autoimmune.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them is Hashimoto's thyroiditis, so that's hypothyroidism. I'm also hyperthyroid, so I have a very underactive thyroid, and then pretty weak adrenals, Sjogren's disease, and rheumatoid arthritis, and also borderline lupus, but not really, not so bad. And my immune system when I was younger, I was always rushed to the hospital for my asthma, childhood asthma. It's very allergenic. So when somebody has asthma, you have so many allergies. So I'm supposed to be super duper weak. I was also cesarean born. I didn't have my mom's vaginal bacteria, which would have developed my immunity the first 8 months of my life. So I didn't have that. So I'm supposed to be talagang, yeah, but my gosh, I'm so strong, and it's through biohacking. It's really through biohacking. And I can teach people how to do this because they have the same kind of body that I have. They have DNA.
I find it really amazing.
Cells, right? So
and
yeah.
It brings to mind yung design of God that you went through all these illnesses, yung talagang physical ailments. And ang reason is for you to strengthen your own body, find out how the body could regenerate, self-heal, and all those things, and share it.
Yes,
so, ang ganda ng story mo. So that's
Thank
why
you.
you're so talagang based on your experience, you remain true to yourself.
Yes, yeah. That's why I can speak with conviction. It's different because when you just read it in a book or you heard it in a radio and you're saying, oh, good, this is this, which I do sometimes, people that I follow, they say, this happened to me. Then I'll say it with conviction, yeah. But iba kasi pag ikaw talaga, ikaw yung living, standing emblem of your belief, diba? Of what you stand for. And it's really different. That's why then I can say it with so much gusto, without hesitation, without any trepidation. Kasi it's me, and I am the the living, breathing representation of what I'm trying to teach people. Yeah.
Really amazing. Hindi ko alam yan sa story mo.
Yeah. Thank you.
But thank you for sharing that. Kasi not everyone is open to share about their illnesses, diba?
Yeah. So I still have the thyroid symptoms of the kilay is super nipis, and then Sjogren's I don't cry tears. So, pero they're very minor. Sjogren's you don't cry tears. Very, very minor lang. But if you see the advanced stages, they're really fatigued and sa hospital, they're eating, they feel miserable, they're depressed, they're in bed, ganyan talaga. And I also forgot to say that I had a near-death experience when I was 28. I had a subdural hematoma, which 80% of people who get it die. And it's the same condition that Natasha Richardson died from. Remember her? But I survived. I survived it. So my body just wanted to live. So, and I think about that, my gosh, okay. Yeah, the body can heal itself.
That's yun talaga yung essence ng the power of the human potential. And actually, human potential is if I think of it, it's so vague talaga. Parang it's really so vague. And how would you explain it in a nutshell? Actually, pa-end na tayo. So we can could you share what the human potential is from your experience? Kasi pag sa akin parang sobrang limited yung pagkakaalam ko about it. But I'm sure with you, with all your experiences and all the people that you've met, your patience. What's the significance of the human potential?
It's to continue the evolutionary line, and it's natural progression. It's to not stop, because we stopped at a certain point, no, and then we became limited as human beings. Our life expectancy became so short, 80 years old, I think, for men and women average. Now, where I know we can live up to 200 years old and still look 50 or 40. But kasi life happened there in industrial revolution came, and all of these factories, whatever, agriculture, diba? Ang dami nangyari, so we became an indoor species, which is even worse now because of pandemic. So we're really indoors. Nobody's going out in nature. Our true mother is nature, and we are not at her breast anymore. So that has consequences. So that is the human potential is, we don't know, right? But we can just try as much as possible in our lifetime, so that the next custodians of the planet will grow our dreams for us. We will merely plant the seeds, and then just see. The potential for humans is immense. I mean, the ability to be like the Jedis, to to be able to look into the future, to have this kind of power, right? To channel into your intuition and to follow your gut feel without any doubt, and to just forge forward, to know exactly why you came to the planet for. Those things, and also the ability to self-heal, like it just heals, just like that. Then yeah, that's the potential of the human being. But I think we might also be looking in the wrong places. Some biohackers are looking into implants and transplants, and mixing robotics with it. That's transhumanism. That is not the human potential at all. So instead of evolution, I like to look at it as involution. I think what we should need to be looking at is an involution, is the inner spirit to become the dominant force in the potential for the human beings. Yeah, I mean, the physical body, of course, is powerful. But that's 3D. So we're looking for higher dimension existence and consciousness. So it should be an involution from now on. And I think we're getting there. I think if there's anything that the pandemic taught us, is to start looking within and start the process for this involution to happen. So in a way, I feel it's a gift. It kind of forced us to find their superpowers, forced us to involve instead of evolve, right? So, life is bittersweet there. It has all these funny little things that it just throws at you that seem to be, it's not what they seem. Yeah.
This is the first time I've encountered the term involution. I was like, meron palang ganun na term. Parang, okay, that's really beautiful. Pero, parang naalala ko rin, parang yung brain capacity natin is only, 10% less, di ba? Less pa. Sobrang konti nga yung 10%. I mean, not all human population has 10%. Parang average yun eh. Yung iba lower pa. So, imagine if you unlock that. Yun yung potential. We're still at the konting percentage pa lang. So, ang ganda ng explanation mo na biglang pumasok yun sa mind ko. Parang there's still so much talaga to grow, to transcend, and the inner spirit talaga, yung higher faculty. So that's thank you for sharing that. And
You're welcome.
I hindi ko na-realize na ganito ka ganda yung magiging natin, yung conversation natin.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Kasi the first time I've talked Ellie, for those who are watching, the first time I've talked to her, there's that instant connection. Kasi we're both spiritual, but the work that are different. May commonality, pero still different. And right now that this is pang ilang time na ba? Pang fourth or third time na natin na mag-usap.
Yes.
So parang okay, I forgot how profound the conversations are with you. Thank you so much for for saying yes to this invitation.
You're welcome. I love
Join me
talking
here
to
in
you.
Soul Talk.
Yeah, thank you
I
so
love
much.
it.
I know I could talk like this forever, especially with people you're connected with on the same wavelength. Oh, it's beauty and grace, and it's such a gift.
Oo,
So thank you so
yes.
much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Ren. And actually, when I upload this video, I'll be sharing the page and website of Unlimited. So at least
Okay.
people would also get to know about the recovery center and what
Okay.
biohacking is. And Ren, actually, even the flatten the fear. I love that so
Oh,
much.
thank you.
I love it so much. Kasi talaga,
Thank you.
parang ako naniniwala rin ako, yung fear talaga na nag-a-allow sa virus to stay. Kasi dapat wala na siya
Yes.
A
Yeah.
lot.
So yes, thank you for sharing that. That's one of my biggest advocacies at present.
Oo. Invite people to join or at least to hear it out.
Like everybody to join our cause. It's for freedom of choice. It's not about tax. It's all about freedom to choose. So no grave coercion, and you can concerned doctors and citizens of the Philippines acting out.
Oo.
Concerned doctors and citizens of the Philippines. Ayan. I'll say it again.
And then, narinig ko naman, concerned
Narinig mo
doctors
naman.
and citizens of the Philippines. So, yon. And
Oo,
then,
concerned
yung
doctors
flatten,
and
pero yung flatten the fear, it's a Viber group, tama ba? Or a YouTube channel?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's both. It's a Viber group, Flatten the Fear PH, and then it's a YouTube channel where our weekly meetings are being live streamed. So twice a week na ngayon, the good doctors are going to be meeting and inviting also really influential, really knowledgeable speakers about the current situation and also about the viruses and health and all of that every Tuesday and Saturday. So you can tune in at Concerned Doctors and Citizens of the Philippines and Flatten the Fear PH on YouTube. Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. Ako natutuwa ako when I listen to the doctors.
Yeah.
And rin, of course I also listen rin naman sa yung mga pro-vaccine. I don't diss. Hindi naman ako nagdi-diss. I listen and then I make my own choices. Nasa naman ako kasi when I make decisions, nasa intuition.
Yes.
I know others would use their mind more, others would use their heart more. Pero we all are unique. Yun lang nga, we just make informed decisions. Yun lang talaga. At the end of the day, it's all about having access to the information. Actually, before we end, dati, I used to get information from the US doctors. That's why I was so surprised na meron din palang community sa Philippines who are speaking out and saying, sharing their opinions. So, that's also good. Para sa ko, meron din pala dito sa Pilipinas. Nagugulat ako as in.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people are finally getting the information they need to make a proper choice. Diba? They're not just making a choice because they're scared, because they don't think that they have a choice, but they actually do. And and these are people who know what's going on. They're not true.
Ako naputol. Oo. Pero okay na yun.
Okay.
I guess
Okay,
it's already our cue to
yeah.
end. Kasi kundi mapapahaba to, as in.
I know.
Baka humaba pa. But thank you so much once again. And for those who are going to watch this, I hope that you have gained so much value out of this conversation. And I know I did. I always do actually when I talk to different people. And thank you so much, Ellie. Personally, para tong session, you've helped me also in my journey of transformation.
Wonderful. Thank you also. It's always so wonderful having a conversation with you. So enlightened, such a beautiful soul. Thank you so much for opening this conversation up, to the world so that people can learn and listen as well. So yeah, with many different people. That's amazing.
Iba, we all have our work here in this world, and sometimes it can be intimidating or frightening or overwhelming, but what's important is we remain grounded, just like what Ellie has shared. Remain grounded, to go back to your center, and know that ito yun eh. Sometimes it's not that easy, but this is it. And we just have to follow our intuition, our hearts, and our truth. So,
Truth.
all right. So God bless everyone. I hope that you have enjoyed this conversation. Thank you again. All right.